Today we are making sloppy joeys, or just sloppy joes but with kangaroo meat instead. You can thank my mum for the name sloppy joeys, even though we're not actually using joeys, we're using presumably full-grown kangaroos. But yeah, so we're going to be making a bun. We've done it before in an air fried bread recipe. It's like this milk bread sort of burger bun. And then we're going to make our sloppy joe mixture with our kangaroo substituting for the beef. So yeah, I appreciate if you could also, if you like all these videos, to subscribe, like, and comment down below if you want to see a recipe of your choice, or if there's something you liked about this video or didn't like. I would really appreciate that, and I'll take on board all advice. And without further ado, let's begin. Okay, so to start with the kangaroo minced sloppy joes that we're going to be making today, we're going to make some great buns. So yeah, we're going to make some good burger buns for these sloppy joes. So I've done this before in the air fryer bread recipe one, but we're going to be making some burger buns. And to start off, we're going to need to make some Tanzan, and then using that, we'll make this sort of like milk bready burger bun. I don't know, it's really good, and it'll be perfect for the sloppy joes. Some water. Okay, so to begin with, we'll add in 20 grams of bread flour, which is about 2 tablespoons. Okay, the milk, we are going to be doing 60 grams. No, why did the scales turn off? Oh no. Okay, I think it was at 40, so we need 40 more. And that's way too much. Fuck! We'll scoop some out. We're already off to a really good start. Alright, that's pretty close. And to finish up, we'll add in like 27 grams of water. So that's that. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a little roux. We'll just leave this here because we're baking, so we're going to be using that much more. And we just keep on mixing, making sure that it's incorporates. I don't know how hot we make this. Maybe we should have mixed it up beforehand, I don't know. But yeah, we just keep on mixing. So it's starting to get thick now. So I want to get to a paste, which we're not quite there yet, but we're getting pretty close. Alright, I think we're basically, alright, that looks good. Tanzan. So we just let that to cool down to the side here. 35°C, that's where we want to get at. Alright, that's 35°C. Then we want to chuck in our yeast. And let's just mix that around. And we let that sit for 8 minutes. 8 minutes we'll let it sit for. You know, making it all become nice and fluffy or whatever it would need to do. Alright, now it's the next section. Setting things up, we're going to use the big bowl. Alright, so we are going to be adding to this big bowl 320 grams of flour. Wow, that was perfect. Perfectly on 320 grams. You'd love to see it. Then 7 grams of sea salt, or table salt I'm using, I don't know. And then 35 grams of sugar. There we go, 35 grams of sugar. All right, and we just mix this all around, get it nice and incorporated. Okay, now that we have our flour, and I put this little thing underneath for a bit of friction and whatnot, we're gonna be slowly adding our like milky, yeasty substance. Now if you have a stand mixer, you just do this in the slow setting, but I don't, I have my fingers. I'm just keeping doing this nice and slow until it's all in. All right, so that's all of the yeast in. Next we add in the Tanzan. We'll just put all this in. That's all the Tanzan, basically. Mix this around. Okay. Then I think I'm gonna add 1 egg and 1 egg yolk. You know what, maybe we'll just give it 1 egg, 1 egg yolk. I basically want to get to a nice dough at this stage. Oh, pardon me. All right, I don't know This doesn't seem quite right with the way it's looking. But we have some butter here, 42 grams of unsalted butter, which we're just gonna slowly be adding in as well. And I guess we just keep on kneading. It seems a bit too sticky. Alright, so I'm just gonna add a tiny bit more. We just gotta YOLO it and hopefully it does what we want it to do. Took a little while, but I think we got there. Grease this up. Cool. There we go. It only took me about 30 minutes. I knew it was bad. I knew it was bad. Alright, put the light on in here. Grab a damp towel and in she goes for 2 hours or doubled in size. And now I get to clean up this mess. But yeah, that took a lot longer than expected. I added a lot more flour to get it smooth, so that was weird. Got a bit frustrated, to say the least. But yeah, so we'll wait for a couple hours before we, I guess, do the next part of the buns. And I'll clean this place up a little. Okay. Let's have a look. Oh, it's probably a bit too warm in there. I don't know. It's stuck to the top of it, but that's okay. That's basically double in size, right? I think so. Air out a little bit. Alright, I've moved all the flour to a little container because the packet that was in got all doughy. A little bit of flour, and what we are going to do is we are going to, where's our scales? Alright, we're just going to weigh out. Alright, and we'll get a baking sheet pan. Let's leave it over there for now. The dough out. Wow, look at that. Alright, what we're going to do is we're just going to make it into equal portions. About 90 grams to 100 grams. So we'll just do this. Cool. So maybe 90 grams. We'll do 90 grams. Alright, they're basically even. And now we, fold it over. And we make it into little balls. Kind of like that. Boom. And there we have, look at that. Some nice buns. And you know what we're going to do with this? Of course, we've got to let it rest again. Hopefully this fits over the top. Oh, perfect. We'll chuck that back in here because it's nice and warm. And we'll let it rise for another hour or so. Easy peasy. So yeah, now we're just gonna wait for it again to rise again. And this rise will make it the size of the buns that we want it to be at. So yeah, about an hour or two should rise enough to be like a nice, nice size. So at the moment they're kind of like this big. And we want it to rise to a nice bun shape. But yeah, see you in a bit. All right, it's been about 2 hours or so. Let's see how it's going. The big reveal. So I didn't have the light on. I kind of just left in the oven, but didn't have the light on this time. I mean, they're not. I think they've grown in size a little. They're not super big, but I think they're good enough. No, we can do it a bit bigger. I think. A little bit bigger. We'll turn the oven on and we'll turn the light on in the oven and just leave it for another half an hour or so. It's been about half an hour. Let's have a look, shall we? Yeah, I think they're good size. They probably haven't done too much bigger, but I think they're a little bit bigger than they were before. What we're gonna do now is put the oven to 190 degrees. Okay, it's oven's all preheated now, so let's make a little bit of an egg wash and then chuck them in. So just a splash of milk in here. Like so. Just whisk this up a little. Just gonna use our fingers and just gonna brush it with our fingers. There we go. That's a good enough brush. And Now we're going to chuck in the oven for about 18 to 20 minutes. Or until golden brown. Alright, check out these bad boys. Look at that. Look at that. I was hesitant there might be too golden brown, but I think that's perfect. Perfect. Look at those buns, eh? Look at those buns. Transfer to a wire rack, you know, to cool down. Alright, look at that. Check out that. Look at those beautiful buns. It might have taken me the whole day to make them, but if they're as good as last time, then it is so worth to make these buns. Obviously, yeah, there was about maybe 5-6 hours worth of just waiting and proofing. So it takes a little while, but the fruits of your labor when you do homemade buns, whoa, so good. Okay, so what do we do now, you might ask? Well, we made our buns. Now for the actual part, which is making the sloppy joe inside mixture. So buns is the outside, it kind of holds it together. So having some good buns is like a good portion of it. But the inside, that's what we're doing. So we're gonna prep some stuff. We're just gonna prep some onion, half an onion diced, a couple cloves of garlic, a green capsicum, and that's about all we have to prep really. And then we begin cooking. So let's start dicing up some vegetables, shall we? All right, it's capsicum done. And to the same bowl of capsicum, we'll add garlic, because we're going to be adding it at the same time when we're cooking, so just add it to the same bowl. All right, and the last thing we've got to prep is the onion. What the heck is that? All right, so that's prep work done. We've got our capsicum and garlic and our diced onion. All right, so we've got our kangaroo mince and our onion, and we've just put it in cold, and we've just started it. And this is to make it all go crumbly. And we just sort of guide this. It smells like kangaroo. It's got that gamey smell to it. But it's very lean, sustainable, a lot of reasons to use kangaroo. So hopefully it's quite good in this sloppy joe mixture. So once it's kind of browned up, and you can see it's quite crumbly like we want it to be. So this is good. Very, very good. Nice and browned up as well. Now we'll add in our capsicum and garlic. And we're just going to be cooking this in for about 2 or 3 minutes, getting it all nice and soft. Alright, once it's softened up a little bit, we'll add in a cup of water. I want to do three-quarter cup. I think a cup's a bit overkill. Mix that in, and then we're going to be adding in, it says ketchup, but we have tomato sauce here in Australia, so we're going to be just chucking 3/4 cup of tomato sauce, which is the rest of this. We're going to be adding in 2 tablespoons of brown sugar if you have it, or I'm using raw sugar because I never seem to have any brown sugar. And we'll just add a little bit more because ketchup is probably a bit sweeter than tomato sauce. Then add in a teaspoon of Dijon mustard. You know me, I don't have Dijon mustard, I do have whole grain, so we're going to be using that. Then some dashes of Worcestershire sauce. Say it with me, Worcestershire. It's Worcestershire, not Worcestershire or Worcestershire. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm not going through this looking like an absolute idiot. And let's mix that all together. I feel like I'm missing something. Of course, salt and pepper. Salt. Let's get some of that pepper going. And let's mix that together. Our recipe says to add more water and then put it to a simmer. I think we've got enough water. Like it says to add another cup, but I think it's kind of swimming in water now. So we're probably kind of good. And we'll just let that simmer. And then we just let that thicken up for about, like get it really thick. Actually we'll just add a little bit more water. There we go. And then we'll just let that simmer away until it's nice and thick, so about 30 to 45 minutes. So that'll be fun. Alright, look at that. Nice and thick. How we like everything. Let's give it a little taste test, shall we? Check the salt and the pepper. It's quite sweet. I like that. I like that a lot. Smoked paprika. I think we'll just add that little bit extra. And I've been really digging salt paprika lately, and that's smoky flavor. Alright, we're just going to turn this off, and we're going to transfer this to a bowl, and then give the pan a wipe down, because what we're going to do is we're going to use this pan to toast the bun. Alright, so we got 2 buttered things. Just chuck that on there, get it nice and toasty. Alright, we've got some nice toasty boys, look at that. Ooh. Ooh, probably don't use your fingers if you can avoid it. Alright. Okay, so now we get to assemble. So, you could just add on straight the mince, but I'm going to add a little bit of cheese. You can add in some people have done onions, like fried onions, so we'll just add some cheese to the bottom. Obviously, if you can, grate your own cheese. And then we scoop on some of our sloppy. Get a nice amount of that going. And then we crown. And there we have it. All right, look at that. Ooh, look at this. Oh my God. We got that bun, which is amazing. And a lot of flavor in the mince. This actually turned out pretty good, a lot better than I expected. Most of it all hell. Very sweet. Might have added too much sugar. Maybe it wasn't necessary for the extra tablespoon. Now, I've never had like an authentic sloppy joe or whatever, but that was pretty good. That was quite good. Got that lot of sweetness coming through. Got that capsicum. No, I think the capsicum is just for extra texture. And then garlic. Probably could have added a little bit more garlic, maybe. I don't know. It's pretty simple, and it's very nice. Very nice. And these buns are amazing. So I think they're better suited for hamburgers. Like, I feel like just those like plain white sesame seed buns were pretty good as well. But you know, we're gonna do it extra here. If we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it extra. And this is goddamn good. How about that?